There's been an arrest in the robbery and attack on a Montgomery business owner.
The suspect faces several federal charges, and the man he's accused of assaulting is reacting to the arrest. WSFA 12 News anchor Valerie Lawson is joining us in the newsroom with the details. Valerie, what do we know about the suspect?
Well, Sally and Monet, the suspect is 58-year-old Zedekiah Sykes. He is charged federally with armed robbery, carjacking, and brandishing a firearm in a federal crime of violence. The robbery happened on March 10th and targeted Jim Massey III at his business, Jim Massey's Cleaners on South Street, right here in Montgomery. Massey says 4 men forcibly entered his business, tied him up, beat him, held a gun to his head, and demanded the code to the business's safe. The suspects took the money from the safe and fled in a vehicle stolen from the Cleaners, leaving Massey tied up and injured. According to court documents last Wednesday, a week and a half after the incident, 2 men went to Massey's business and told him they knew what happened. They say Sykes orchestrated the robbery and had been planning it for months. They also said that they had been recruited by Sykes to help him carry out the crime. The court records go on to say that they met Sykes at a predetermined location and were patted down to make sure they didn't have any recording devices. They got into a vehicle and drove by Jim Massey's Cleaners, learning that would be their target. Sykes also drove them to Massey's home and said if they could not get him at the business, they would get him at his home. Massey spoke with us just a few minutes ago about the case and how he's been feeling since the day of the attack.
Up until today, there's been so much adrenaline, so much to do, working with all the authorities, all the law enforcement agencies, and then trying to run a business somewhat. It's just been, so the stress, I think it's just been, I've been too busy to really feel it. Now, I think that, once the time comes, I'll feel it. I mean, I'm just like everybody else.
Court documents say the Metro Area Crime Suppression Task Force started conducting surveillance on Sykes last week. Authorities learned that Sykes's credit card had been used to buy hard hats and safety vests similar to those worn by the suspects in the Massey holdup. If convicted on all charges, Sykes faces a minimum of 7 years and a maximum of life in prison. Sally and Monet, we will have much more from Massey tonight at 6.
And you can read more as well online right now at WSFA.com.